It's Tuesday, Turn Up Tuesday. You know what time it is? It's the part time marks with your boy Larry Black Lightning Burke.
Kurt McGirt over here. How's it going, my man?
Man, I'm good, dog. Man, it's been a long week, but there's been a lot of wrestling, so that's what makes me happy. That's what we come to do on Tuesday nights. We come to unpack all of it. There's a lot to unpack. I hope you got your book bag ready.
You know I got my bag on me.
Yeah, you got the bag on you. Well,
Yes, lay it. Let's mark about it.
well, man, let's get to it and let's mark about it. Man, it's that 10:30 slot, so you know what time it is. It's the part-time marks. Kirk McGurk, how you doing, my guy?
I'm all right, my man. Taking in all this good pro wrestling. It's a lot to talk about, man. What's going on with you over there?
Man, I can't complain about it, man. Just got done watching some NXT, but man, there was a lot of NXT, man. There was a lot to unpack with that. We're gonna get into all that here shortly, but man, hey, man, I feel good. I think I'm ready to talk about a little bit of SmackDown, just a smidgen.
There's a
You
little
want to
bit of
talk about
SmackDown.
just a smidgen of SmackDown because I think there was a lot of important stuff that happened there, and I think we need to talk about it.
All right, what you got?
Well, man, I want to start off with something that was obviously continued that's been going on for the last couple weeks, but we obviously have this Randy Orton and Kevin Owens situation, and man, we seen something I felt like that we haven't seen in a long, long time. Uh, Something so small that's something so big.
Yeah.
And, and what we got was the good old, what we ain't seen this move. It's been banned for what, 20, 30 years?
So yeah.
Kevin,
Um
go ahead.
yeah, since what? The late 90s. So it was like 20 something years, but Kevin Owens hit Randy with the power driver.
With the power driver. And that's big for wrestling right now, I feel like.
It's big.
Because the power driver. Now, obviously, over the last couple years, we've been seeing an overused style power driver. It used to actually mean something,
Hey,
probably like
bro.
you know where I'm going with this. like the Canadian destroyer.
Yeah, because when you would hit that shit, it's devastating.
It's devastating. But with what we learned in the last couple years, that it's kind of been overused.
It's the new super kick.
It's and it should not be. It I
Shit.
remember when I first, like, this was like probably before I even started like really expanding my wrestling zones. Uh, guy I know, Shane Malice, used to hit this, and I'm like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, I can't wait till he hits me with this move. But I mean, I'd see him take guys out left and right with it, and he would only use it in certain matches. He used it at the right time, and this is probably 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So then once I really started to see it evolve into wrestling, I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? There were certain characters hitting it, and I'm like, I like it because it's pinning people. But now you're getting to a point where you might see six of them in one in repetition.
Was it 6?
I don't know, but I just know that it was devastating enough for the guy to stand up and deliver his own, and then the guy delivered one, and then the other guy delivered one, and then by that time I was like, so I didn't, I just, it just, it was killing. It totally was killing the move, and that was just like most recently. But what we seen from Kevin Owens, and this is where WWE stands out. They pull a move out that they, and actually you see superstars in the WWE right now hitting Canadian destroyers,
Yeah.
but it's random. It doesn't happen very often. You know what I mean? But when you just seen the good old traditional power
Power
driver,
driver. Because we know it's been banned, so for them to pull it out,
and obviously we know it's perfect. We know with Randy Orton over the last couple of years with the injuries, we're like,
it's
oh
believable.
yeah. But when he hit the power, I was like, did he just do a power? I was like, and obviously, you know what you get from the WWE. You get this great selling. You get obviously everybody coming out. Everybody's irritated. I
Hmm.
mean, like I said 2 3 weeks ago. I mean, you made it clear Kevin Owens had a case. Now he's really
Listen,
starting to lose it.
I need the shirt,
Again, when I seen that shirt, I was like, McGirt told me he had a case, and
bro.
he's fully pushing it. I,
How would you feel?
I mean, if I look at it from the perspective of everybody, I can't trust nobody around me. I don't know who's being friends with who, because obviously, I'm the type of guy, and I'm 100% honest. If you're friends with somebody I don't like, you're usually not my friend either. So, so I mean, what are you doing hanging with those people if I don't like them? Because that's where miscommunications, conversations happen.
But here's the thing, bro. We went through the same thing. We went through the same thing for 4 years. You were out for 8 months behind these guys.
So, uh, he's not lying. I feel like, what are you doing hanging out with the enemy? He he clearly got a case. Do I think maybe he took it too far with the pile driver? No,
No,
no.
because if we're gonna ask that question, we got to look at everything. How many times has Randy taken it too far?
Randy always takes it
I
too.
think at the core of it, he should understand, but he's gonna get his lick back.
And this is this, this adds another layer to their story. I
Yeah,
just one move adds another layer to their story. Obviously, the selling, he gets took out in the ambulance.
because he's about to sit home for a little bit. We about to work this out here real quick. I wouldn't even bring him back until January.
I, I mean, he got to be out for a while. You can't he can't take the pile driver and be back next
Wait
week.
until the first Raw on Netflix. You know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
know, we know WWE treads lightly with that, so they ain't gonna let him come back
It
next
might
week.
be longer than that. Yeah.
Yeah, he gonna need some time off. I mean, because you know they're gonna milk this. I mean, obviously, if we're getting a big reaction out of it, I felt like the crowd got it. I feel like and then obviously everything that went on around it with the ambulance. We
Hmm.
seen Cody take the ride to the ambulance with Randy too. So,
Yeah.
and I think that was the last we might have seen of Cody as well. So, you know, so
Yeah.
I'm just not trusting everything that's going on. I, I don't know what's going on because I have my questions, but Cody's in the mix of this. Owens.
Well,
So
and
what are we
that's
gonna do while Randy's out? Is Owens
see
gonna?
topics are going to start bleeding into each other because Randy's gone. So what are we doing with Kevin Owens? The next logical person for him to want to come after is Cody, right?
Obviously, because of, I mean, is he going to get suspended or fined for this pile driver?
Is he?
Yeah, is he going to get fined? He
So
might
if
get
you give him,
suspended.
he could get suspended, but that's not going to stop him from showing up. And
That's obviously not going to stop him from showing up and obviously
but
causing some sort of hell.
I could see a suspension. But I think in today's WWE, if he were, I think they would have. It would have been on like one of the GMs, whoever the GM is. He would have
They would
posted it
have said it
online.
like,
He would
"Get
have said
out
it
of here."
online. They would have did a video or something like
All right.
because you're taking immediate action. You want to wait till the next show? This
Uh,
ain't 2004 anymore. Like we have social media and they use
yeah,
it. They
yeah,
utilize it.
yeah. You obviously have to use it. Yeah, so I guess obviously this is going to continue. He's going
Maybe
to
he's
keep.
gonna get a nice fine.
Yeah,
I would wait
yeah,
till next week to give him a fine because all right, cool.
yeah, we can do the fine face to face or yada yada yada, but he'll
I don't.
probably obviously show up and cause some more
I
because
would
he's clearly lost his
prefer.
mind.
He's yeah. I mean, he, he's right though.
He clearly
He
is right.
might be going
I don't
too
know,
far, but it's all perspective, bro.
but
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
how
if
he feels.
everybody else believes that he has the same like.
Hey, bro, we can't tell this man how to feel.
You never tell a person how to feel. You're exactly right. You can't. So I mean, if I was in his position, obviously, I would probably feel the same way. We clarified that. So,
Yeah, I mean, you gotta look at it, bro. I'm getting my ass beat every which way by these motherfuckers for 4 years straight. Every time I go for a title, these niggas is over here ruining it for me. Like, and this man wants to go team with him, and you want to take his side. Fuck that.
everybody, fuck him all. Then I mean, he's definitely not wrong
So
about
like, there's two logical moves for Kevin if they keep him on TV. It's Cody and Sammy.
that.
I think Cody. I would prefer Cody so we can keep him away from the bloodline. But
Because obviously he doesn't mix in that because this is why we're here.
I
So
mean, he does, but he doesn't. It's like it could make sense if,
he yeah, but this is why he's here with his mind
I'm
state
trying
at
to
this
force it.
moment because of the bloodline. So he can't he can't he can't get in the mix of that.
Kevin, no, he can't get in the mix of that.
Yes, Joe.
That's what I'm saying.
Speaking,
He needs to be coming for Cody next because he feels how he feels because Cody's the one that was teaming with Roman. That way we keep Cody away from the bloodline. Of course we're not gonna see him put Cody out, but that's where we need to be going with Kevin.
that's what he.
What else are we gonna do? We need
Yeah,
Sammy over here.
yeah, and speaking of Sammy and the bloodline,
Hmm.
man, on so what we finally got on SmackDown is we finally got our big confrontation that we was looking for,
Yeah,
and and we got the ultimate, some of the ultimate payoff already.
some of it. We got the ones in the air, but
Yeah.
it's
So
still a little shaky.
so once again, Solo, obviously he's trying to recruit. He's trying to recruit Sammy,
Mm-hmm.
and I obviously he gave us that he is joining with us because obviously there was so much confusion from Raw, which we touched on last week.
Right.
But so we got the big explosion between the bloodline, the original bloodline, and the new bloodline. And what we ended with was all the ones in the air. We got Jay putting ones in the air, Jimmy, Sammy, and Roman doing this ultimate face off, and finally seeing Sammy rejoin with the bloodline, and Roman puts the one up. So I guess you know where we're going with this. We're going to War Games.
We're going to war games. I mean, we've been calling it for months. I still think it should be tribal war games because this is where we're headed. But they're talking about 5-on-5, so we're looking for
We're,
another
we're,
person. Which personally, I think they should keep it 4-on-4. But they want the suspense. I dig it, but it's like who are we putting in there that makes sense? So who we see?
well, you know what? At the same time, you have the bloodline are crossing back and forth with on Raw.
Yeah.
So so what we seen right there going into Monday Night Raw, obviously you seen Jimmy, Jay, and Sammy all meet up, and obviously Jimmy's not really a fan of Sammy right now. They're kind of still on the outs, which we obviously knew they were the best of friends. So it's kind of odd right now.
It's kind of like it was with Sammy and Jay in the beginning, where Sammy and Jimmy was cool, and Jay
So
was
yeah, Jay was on the outside of it and wasn't feeling it,
yeah,
because Jimmy feels like he's quarterbacking now.
right.
He calls the audible. That's one of my favorite lines by old Jimmy. He's calling audible. So you got Jimmy looking for another member. You got Sammy looking for another member, but also on the other side you got Solo looking for their fifth member.
Hmm.
So, so it, what are we gonna do? Who fits well with Solo? Obviously, we seen throughout the show that Sammy confronted Seth and asked Seth. Seth
Hmm.
turned it
Yeah,
down, and also we seen at one point in the show Solo did the same thing. He confronted Seth and also
yeah.
made a case on why he should join. And Seth also turned that down. It's not like you said, Seth is obviously busy, but he says no. So, uh, who in your mind would fit well on either side? If you were put in the shoes of who, because we don't know right now. Obviously, they say the internet's talking, but we don't know.
I
Um,
mean, the internet's talking. All right, let's let me touch on that. So you hit me earlier and said, oh, it's looking like they're talking about Bronson and Seth. I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking about it at work. I'm thinking about it because
so
I'm
you're
I'm serving
so
I'm serving
so hold on.
food.
So you're talking about Seth with the original bloodline and
Yeah,
Bronze. Okay, with the new bloodline.
but the only that's the thing. Bronson has to join the new bloodline first in order to give Seth that edge. But is that going to be? Yeah, I mean, I feel like if he really wants to get his hands on him and he's in that War Games match, he's gonna go in the War Games match with the bloodline.
Mm.
Sucks, but you want to get your hands on him that bad that you're gonna do it. And I feel like that's the way they're gonna do it if that's who they're gonna go with. Solo is gonna recruit Big Bronson. He has no reason to turn him down.
Yeah, that like we were discussing. We're still missing Paul Heyman too. So
Yeah.
where does Paul Heyman fitness equation because that's just a hypothetical. But where does Paul Heyman fitness go? Because if you're bringing Paul Heyman has connections to quite a few people.
Yeah,
So,
quite a few people. So
quite a few people.
it might be just me, but I feel like we're not going to get Paul until the night of on the introduction.
Is that you're probably right. Because everything, man, right now has been bing bing. They're pinpointing. They're doing their things one at a time, and they're really really sucking us into it. And they're doing it
Yeah,
at the right time. They're not doing these things at the wrong time. They're doing all these things at the right time. They know when the viewership is going to be up. They know what they're doing. They're building. Okay, we're going to plant the seed now, so in 2 weeks we can finally get the ultimate payoff of the bloodline.
right.
So obviously, you're probably right about that. We won't probably get that till later on, but that's going to be the pop of that is going to be very very good.
Very good.
But I'm just now me on the other hand, I don't care. I mean, obviously, you have the layer of Seth and possibly Bronson Reed being the people, and I get it because they're in this big story right now. And I mean, obviously, Seth has ties to the bloodline somewhat because obviously we know the relationship between him and Roman. Like,
Deal.
I, I'm with you. I think we should just go 4-on-4 unless we're not going to get full blown. Because you're right. We need full blown tribal warfare.
Nothing makes sense to me unless you're bringing in more family. And if you're not bringing in more family, it don't make sense to me because why are we? Sami Zayn is the only person that's not family that makes sense because he was a part of the. He was what was making it great at one point.
He was making it for a whole year. He made it bona fide great. Not to mention almost everything he's touched. It's been so underappreciated for so long on almost how many different things that he did touch went so well. Him and Nakamura. People forget about man that entrance that used to get me so hyped when he would be dancing behind
Yeah,
Nakamura. See that's the things that the small things that people forgot. Sammy was a part of that. Sammy always
turned it
clicked,
up.
turned it up. But um, man, I think I guess we see where they're going with it, but it's like I'd much rather, like you said at one point, let's keep Seth and Bronson doing their own thing. I feel like they have a good little feud going, but
Give him a singles match, man. Like they don't need to be in the war games. Let this. This is about
but they are having a singles match next
at,
week.
at Survivor Series. I'm talking.
Oh yeah, I know. So I guess, but since the shows are shortened up now, they're gonna try to get these. They're gonna try to get two good quality. I know. We've already seen it. So what more are y'all gonna do? That's gonna like really shake the thing. I mean, we seen a little bit from Bronson last night, but uh, there's just let's keep that separate from the bloodline. That's probably not gonna happen, but let's keep that from there. But
Please.
but I'm sure we're gonna see a lot more of this SmackDown coming up. But man, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's really dig into Raw a little bit, man, because I thought Raw was. I thought there were some good points last night. And let's just start it off. They start off with that Gunther and Damian promo, and I thought this promo was really good because
Listen, every time they get in the ring, it gets a little bit better.
it does get better because they went a different direction this time. You know what I mean? They went the direction of kind of like Damian Gunther, you kind of seeing Gunther as a little bit vulnerable. What I mean? Like he's kind of in Gunther's head. Now we already know Gunther's only lost what 2 or 3 matches now.
And then you got that most recent loss in your head too. So yeah, a little vulnerable.
And they've already shown him kind of like he told Kaiser the other day like, no, we're not disrespecting these. We don't disrespect Cody or something. You know what I mean? He did that just the other day. He kind of told Kaiser in the locker room. I guess he wanted to say something along the line. He said, "No, we're not disrespecting him." And then Damien followed right up with the whole like, I know I could beat you, and you kind of seem like a little bit of an unsure Gunther, which
A
I
little
could,
unsure. Yeah.
and I like it because I mean he can't be a robot forever. I mean, obviously, we talk about this week in and week out. I don't want him to lose ever. You
Yeah, but sometimes here and
but
there you gotta
but
lay down.
sometimes here and there, certain things make sense, and like you said, this I guess this is good for Damien right now because, like you said, they don't have too many super strong faces, so they're trying to make a push for him some more.
Yeah, keep him in the spotlight, keep him in the main event.
So I really, really liked that promo last night, just because it kind of showed a little vulnerability from Gunther, and Damien's trying to make that push. So he's going to need that. Like, hey, he called him out on everything. He basically Eminem'd him last night. Like,
Yeah, and they're putting doubt in our minds too, like, oh, maybe he'll take another
maybe
loss, you know?
maybe he could drop this belt. Yeah, like just maybe there's a chance because obviously we know Damien. Damien's been hot since he lost the belt. To be honest with you, now
Yeah,
we always know the chase is always a little better than. But right now, I feel like the chase on this one. This is a good start for the chase.
it's a good
So
start.
and obviously Gunther's been top tier on the mic since who knows when.
Hey, he got a little bit more person. He gets a little bit more personality every week, bro. And
And
every time I hear him talk, it's a
and
little
that's
bit
what's
more
good, man.
gold
You,
each
you know
time.
you've seen the robot monster who can't lose. Now you're seeing this vulnerable guy. You're seeing a little bit of comedy. He's really sarcastic, which is probably my favorite. He's always gassing people up, and then
The back to back shots to Bret Hart and Goldberg, it was just
man, wasn't even prepared for it. We was actually together when that happened, and we're like,
where
whoa. We're like, whoa. Are we taking it there?
oh yeah, he took it there.
And I mean, clearly we thought he was going to say like Shawn Michaels, but he said Brett. He said
Yo,
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
Wowzers. But again, I thought that was good. But then we had Kaiser come out, and Kaiser kind of, he kind of was trying to defuse the situation, trying to let Gunther know, like, you are who you say you are. And again, Gunther kind of told him to chill. Damien threw a punch at him.
Yeah,
Damien ain't scared no more. Damien, because obviously Damien said he had doubt in himself the first time. So I think we're getting a good build for this
great
next
build.
match.
Hey, all it took was for him to see like this man can be pinned, bro. Like, and
Mhm.
I can do it.
And now you come out with a little more swag and yeah, a little bit of everything. I think Damien is definitely on his way to being something.
He's on his way,
You know,
man. Like I'm telling you, they like him. I like him too. Like, and he's gonna be what they
I,
want him to be.
he has grown on me for a while there because, like I said, I mean, when I first seen him in NXT, I'm like, no, this ain't it. And then, but I could see why they liked him. But I'm just like, ugh. But now that he kind of built himself around that faction, and he's not mocking people anymore.
Nah, yeah.
He's being more authentic, and I think that was his downfall early. It just wasn't authentic. Now,
He's being himself, and that's what we need, man. For them to be comfortable within themselves.
and I mean, I think that's probably where a lot of characters go wrong. Like, I think you need to just be yourself, but just turn yourself up. Don't don't try to be something you're not. And I think it's always a lot easier for wrestlers to do that. But yeah, man, I felt like that was a good solid promo to get the show started. And then we followed it up with a 3-on-3 women's 3-on-3 match. We got Pure Fusion Collective, one of your favorites, I know, and 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 we got Damage Control, but we got the return of seriously one of your favorites, Dakota Kai.
Dakota
And
Nash,
so we got the return of Dakota Kai, and
lover.
I'm gonna be honest with you. At first I was like, oh, I really don't want to watch this match, but it was actually a really good 3-on-3 women's match. I mean, you could really never, because there is, when you do look around, I mean, there was a couple spots that were a little slow, but it was toward the end. But
Yeah.
honestly, this is probably the first time I'm going to say this. Shayna was really on point. So when people were moving slow, she was where she had to be.
Hmm.
She was doing. Then obviously, like I said, you knew you were going to get your high spots from Sane and
Right.
obviously EO. And I mean, I thought it was honestly, I really thought it was a good match.
Great
there,
match. But
everything was really fast paced. There actually, and there was actually some hard hitting stuff in there too. Because
of
even though
course,
we do clown like pure collective fusion or whatever they want to call themselves,
the stud line.
the stud line. That's my favorite. That's my favorite. That one's never gonna change. Um, when they're in certain situations, they can be really good.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, I can always forget what's her name, but she actually hasn't been blowing spots lately. Even her pop up her drop kick, her moves are looking solid.
You talking about
Um, Shayna's tag partner, her real tag partner. I always forget the girl's name. I always say she's the ugliest one of them all.
you talking about
Uh,
dang. I don't know because I like her and her name is slipping me and it's
but
crazy.
but the talent's there every time. Like the more and more I see, and I remember that one match we was watching, and I don't know, she was just all over the place. But like when she gets in these like real quick pace spots,
Hmm.
things do get actually like it gets pretty good. So I mean, I think I see what they're doing there with the girls. They're trying to just continue expanding that, and obviously, you seen Dakota Kai really. She was really back because she has to get revenge on somebody. She had to get revenge on somebody anyway.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
but well, she had to take them out. But honestly, it ended with EO getting a pin, which is actually kind of smart because
yeah.
obviously they're building her
You
for
want your number one contender to
to
go
look
in looking
strong,
strong.
build.
Yeah.
So, man, I thought it was I thought it was a good return match for her. She didn't have to do too much, and I could see they're starting to like if these people are injury prone, they're taking some of their moves away. They're making it more limited, so they're not
Have
getting.
to.
Yeah, because you're paying these people just to be on the injured list all the time, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because she could have been released. Only I like her. But hey, if you gonna keep getting injured, man, what are
Yeah,
we
because
doing
we
with
kind
you?
of thought she was on that list of people who got released a few days ago, but obviously she
Nah.
popped back out. Yeah, she popped back out, and I mean it was a good outing for them. Obviously, they got a good crowd ovation, and like the crowd's really getting behind Io. They're just doing it on there because they can finally see she's talented.
It's always been though. It's crazy.
It's always been, but like we just said, once certain people lose the championship, it's like that's when they finally see it. And
Hmm.
it's like, because when she had the championship, it was like kind of going underrated. I'm like, she's
That's
so.
because she was still behind Bailey, so it was just like
It just wasn't. But they just let her stand out after this. I think they finally seen it, and they're
had to.
like, let's let it rock. Then we followed up. We followed up with Pete Dunne and Kofi Kingston. Now that was
Hmm.
now I kind of like lost track of what happened, but obviously something to do. Our truth had something to do with this fight. Obviously, he's a bonehead, and I guess he somehow instigated it, and maybe Kofi ended up in this match.
Yeah.
That
I mean, it's It's more things playing into the dissension of the New Day. Kofi is getting in himself into things that Xavier thinks is none of their business. But Kofi's he wants to be the White Knight.
He wants to be the guy, and he's ending up with matches. But obviously, we're still seeing this distinction between these two because once again, Kofi takes another loss because he wasn't paying attention, and obviously Xavier feels a certain type of way. So,
Yep.
are we gonna see an explosion, or are we not, or is everything gonna get right?
I feel like everybody is expecting Xavier to explode. And I think it's going to be Kofi.
I mean, because we kind of seen Kofi kind of didn't he push him away or something kind of after the match there? He kind of blamed him a little bit. So
Yeah,
now you're starting to see Kofi's frustrations.
yeah. But Kofi's been remaining cool, and everybody is week after week. It's like, all right, this is the night Xavier's going to explode. He's just going to go off. No, like
Yeah,
he's
because
mad, he's
have
pissed,
we
but I think it's going to be
well,
Kofi.
now real quick, have we ever seen Xavier be any type of heel?
Not, I mean, New Day were Hill at one point. Well, in the beginning,
Yeah, yeah, I guess they were, but
yeah,
people kind of liked it, didn't they? Yeah, because
yeah.
they weren't supposed to like it.
They weren't supposed to like it. That's what turned them uber babyface. They started as
So
Hill, yeah. They started as the angry black men,
okay,
more or
oh,
less.
traditional. Okay, I got you. Makes sense, but hey, man, sometimes, man, you take throw a steaks, throw a steak in a dumpster. Somebody wants it, man, and
Pancakes. Then you throw pancakes.
throw pancakes and somebody wants it. I like pancakes to be. I like all sorts of pancakes. So,
Word.
so that I guess that's what like really sucked us into it. But yeah, I don't know who's gonna be the guy to finally be like, you know what, I've had enough of this shit. Like
It's gonna
I'm
be
tired of
Kofi.
this. Let's go our own ways.
It's
And
gonna
I
be
mean,
Kofi.
like you said, like it has to be a WrestleMania thing.
I mean, it has to be a WrestleMania match. Has to be. So
And
it's
I
gonna
think,
it's gonna drag out a little bit. You know,
I mean, they're dragging it. This has been going on for months now. So because they've already went through a whole feud with the other guys already, and they somehow survived that one.
we got to get through this anniversary because with their 10-year anniversary is coming up.
So yeah, so you definitely got to get through that as quick as possible. So yeah, I'm like, okay, we're starting to see more and more. So I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see where this feud goes because it is actually kind of confusing me at
They're
this
gonna
point.
keep adding layers because with the anniversary coming up, I said something big's gonna it has to happen on the anniversary because we're gonna have Big E there.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, you're right. And do
That
you know when
is
the anniversary is? Is it do you like? Because they're
no, it's this month,
okay. Okay.
so something has to happen. It can't just be all butterflies and unicorns and rainbows and shit.
Well, and speaking about like no butterflies, is there something going on with the Judgment Day?
It's a little dissension in the Judgment Day. I was going to say something earlier before we went on, and I was just like, I'll hold off because
All right.
it seems that we got the Irishman versus the Latinos.
It do
It
seem
was
like we got some.
split down the middle.
It do seem like we got something going on here. Now I was like, no, I'm not sure what I'm seeing, but it seems like Finn has a problem with Dom.
Mhm.
But what threw me off on that whole little small segment, why did Liv and Raquel stay with them and kind of laugh it off? That part threw me off. And I was like, when they knew that they was going into a tag team match, why didn't Liv and Raquel leave with Dom and Carlito? Which Carlito did, excuse me, Carlito didn't sound like he wanted involved with this match with the War Raiders anyway.
I mean, you think that's cool?
Mm-mm. Mm. Not right now. They're hot.
No, I'm good.
You got
I'm
to stay
good.
out the way. But Dom being arrogant, Dom's like, yo, whatever. So, but yeah, I think I feel like there's a little bit of something going on with the Judgment Day, which I really don't want to see break up. I feel like they all make each other very, very good.
I
So,
mean,
but I guess obviously next week we're gonna get Dom and Carlito versus the War Raiders. So
I love it. I love to see it.
I do. I love to see it, and then obviously, we said we touched on it a little bit earlier, but then you had Bronson Reed and obviously Rollins turning into another complete explosion. That just, I mean, this is obviously week after week,
It's better
so
and better every week.
it is getting better and better every week. So you're getting these explosions, and like you said, this is good for Bronson Reed because they're showcasing him. Obviously, he hit a suicide dive that looked really good for him.
Yeah. And then
That's something.
we give me a little bit more time to think, and where we were talking about Seth and Bronson Reed and what they should be doing at Survivor Series versus what's being talked about. And if we want to give this, like, he's getting a major rub already, but we
Yeah,
want to take it there. Do we really want to take him there? It makes sense to put them in the match, but I just don't want to see it.
yeah. It's not what I personally want to see, and I'm sure maybe some people do want to see that just to see what ends up
The
possibly happening.
carnage, that's it.
It's gonna be carnage, and then obviously
And I
we
feel like if you put Big Bronson Reed in that match, that 2.0 has to win. You have too many monsters over there.
you
I
got
mean,
way too
Jacob
many.
and Bronson alone is enough for me to believe it.
Yep, and Solo obviously, if you're still consistently building him to possibly be ready for a championship, which I think he could win a belt right now.
He should win a belt.
I mean, it'd obviously add to what he's doing. So I mean, yeah, I think he should win a belt. But at this
How are you
point,
the tribal chief without a title, man? My tribal chief had a title the whole
but
time.
I know, but it's you can't just put any title on him right now. It's kind of like he
He
does.
could take it from LA Knight. Nah, he don't fucking need
No, you don't do that at all.
it. He
And
don't need it.
I thought LA Knight was gonna lose it recently anyway. I started feeling like maybe it was they was gonna pull it from him, but then when you really look, like his microphone skills is just too much better than the other two. So
So
you can't.
great.
So you're gonna need that. But yeah, I like Solo, and I think he does need a belt. So, but like you said, there's too many monsters over there, and he's already pinned Roman. He's one upped him. So that they're always going to go back to that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that their explosions are getting better and better every week. I guess we're going to get some sort of payoff next week. Obviously, I don't. We don't think it's going to be everything, but we kind of know where it's headed.
I need a steel cage.
You need to still. I mean, obviously, there's going to have to be some sort of. There's going to be a third match, and then there's obviously going to be some sort of steel cage or something. Yeah, I mean, there has to be a payoff match. So, yeah, that, and obviously, like we said, Solo's already tried to recruit Rollins. Um, the OG Bloodline already tried to recruit Rollins. They both said no. Um, and and then we also seen somewhere along the line Jimmy Uso tried to recruit Ron Breaker.
Try to recruit Braun Breaker, which I wouldn't be mad at. You know what I'm saying? It makes
Again,
sense for him to go over there and try. You need monsters.
you need monsters, but again, it just doesn't fit what they're trying to do.
Doesn't fit with what Braun's trying to do. So
No, he has his own wave. He's got beef with what Sheamus, and he's got all kinds of other beef going on too. So, and then Man, but we went on and then it went right into something we ain't seen in a few weeks. Obviously, it's been building, but we went right into Miz and the Final Testament, and
That they put a nice little trap out there, didn't they?
they did put a nice little trap out there because it kind of threw me off too.
Yeah,
Um,
I wasn't expecting it at all.
I I knew we were obviously going to see the Wyatt Six, but um, I felt it was good. Miz, Miz being Miz. Um, Yeah, I wasn't ready for that one. Miz comes in with the chair shot on Rowan, and he aligned himself with the Testament, which we should have known because this is Miz. I just I just didn't see it coming right then and there. It kind of threw me off guard. Like just because I was like, okay, the Wyatts are about to dog walk them again, like they always do. And Miz comes out of nowhere. Miz being Miz, chair shot.
Hmm.
Misaligned himself with the new. So, or now, I mean, that looks like how many War Games matches? We only usually get one War Games women and one men's, correct?
That could be a War Games match.
There's enough people, right?
Yeah, you got who you got Bo, Rowan,
Mm-hmm.
Gacy,
Mm-hmm.
Loomis, and then
Mm-hmm.
you got the female.
And then you got Nikki,
Yeah.
and then on the other side you got uh, uh Karrion Cross,
Mm-hmm.
Miz,
Mm-hmm.
uh, AOP,
AOP and
uh,
Cross's wife,
Cross's wife,
Scarlett.
and she hasn't really technically had any matches yet, right?
Not
So this,
there, but she wrestles.
yeah,
But
she was.
I guess she's not a wrestler within our universe. So I mean, it's not really a wrestling match though.
So the pops of her getting beat on would be really good.
So you think we get three War Games matches?
It's kind of taking a lot of time.
It
Yeah,
is a lot.
because
That's a lot of time.
that's a
That's
lot.
it's like that's the only three things we gotta have on that pay per view.
Does it take up that much time to do it? 1, 2,
How much time is in between people coming out? What is it? 3 minutes?
three. It might be 3 minutes. Something along the lines of that. So
And then we got 8 people to come out before the match starts.
yes, that's a lot.
This
Maybe
is why
we
they should keep it at 4, honestly.
would, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, that looks like kind of the setup too. It's the same time as War Games, and they're putting these faction wars together. I mean, obviously, it might not happen, but
It'll probably just be
it
a
just kind of
follow.
came to me right now. Like, well, what are we doing with all these people? So,
It'll probably just be a 8-man tag team match. Give
and
it to me tornado style though.
yeah, yeah, just I want all hell
If
to
it's going to
break.
be a Survivor Series, you're going to have the 2 rings anyway. It don't need to have the
Yeah,
cages. It's for it to be
yeah.
interesting.
I just want all hell to break loose.
That's
That's all.
it.
That's all I really. I don't care what they do. I just want all hell to break loose.
That's it.
And speaking of man, because you know these shows are running quick now. Everything's happening fast. So for the main event, we had uh, Liv and Raquel versus Belair and Jade. I'm pretty sure was the titles on the line.
Titles were on the line.
Titles are on the line, and I mean, again, you know, I'm not always the biggest fan of of Jade, but what I did see from Jade was I seen a new finisher. I don't know if you caught that.
I didn't catch it.
She
What
did
was it?
um she still kind of set up the same and she still ended the same, but her new setup was I actually kind of liked it.
I'm gonna have to
Um,
look back on it.
yeah, obviously there was a yeah, Liv kicked out, but it was something new to add to the repertoire. It honestly wasn't that bad of a tag team match. Obviously, what I want to
Because
say,
it's a few females doing that particular move that she's doing.
So
in
it's
the
taken
industry
away
like that.
from hers
And I felt like that since she was in AEW because
just felt
I
like she needed something different.
something different because somebody like they even had them wrestle. What is her name? Johnny Nitro TV.
Oh yeah, what
His
is his
wife.
name?
His wife does that,
Oh, oh, so yeah, that takes away from it completely.
and they had a whole little nice feud, and both of them using the same finishing move. I'm just like,
And to me, it looks like so. Obviously, at the end of all this, it seems like um, we just had a whole bunch of chaos. Obviously, we had Nia out there. We had Tiffy time. Um, EO popped out and was EO popped out
random.
random. So, are we starting to see our build for the female?
Guess it's not random if she's the number one contender.
Yeah, because she obviously has beef with. Wait, she has beef with Liv. She's chasing Liv right?
Is I'm
Yeah, she's not
pretty
chasing
sure
Nia.
she's no, yeah, she's on Ross, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
she's
yeah,
chasing Liv
she's chasing
because
Liv.
because Nia has a championship title defense SmackDown against on SmackDown with Naomi next week. Yeah, that's where they're going. I know. I mean, but you Naomi has to do something. Man, she's been back for months and she's been doing the jobs. So it's just like she's
She's
not
gonna do
sticking.
another one.
Yeah, she can't beat Nia right now.
No, I think Naya's too hot right now.
She's excuse me, she's at her hottest peak right now as she's probably ever been. And I mean, it's the small stuff. The matches have gotten better. Like we said, we go through this. Like things certain people don't like, we like it because we're seeing you're trying to be better.
Tiffany Stratton
Obviously,
is giving us entertainment with it, so
so the ultimate payoff, obviously, we know is this cash in. Does she cash in next week? Is next week hot enough of a time to cash in?
I don't think she cashes in until 2025, brother.
Make her make them wait. Make them
Yeah.
wait.
It's gotta be. We're not moving. We don't want to take away from Naya because she's so hot right now.
Hmm.
It's gonna be a big show somewhere.
Yeah,
We got to figure we got a lot coming up. Um, they're gonna have that first Netflix show is gonna be pay per view caliber. They're we're gonna have shit there. And then the road to
yeah,
WrestleMania.
and we're patient because man, we're not really considering this. It's already what November 12th right now.
Yeah,
We're like a couple weeks away from legit being right there.
yeah, legit.
So I think
That's
you're right.
god damn.
Yeah, get your Christmas shopping ready, man.
Ooh,
But yeah, so but obviously it looks like we're setting up for war games. So, but it looked like it was we'd still be missing one female from each side.
they can keep this one.
They can keep this.
They can keep it. They can keep it.
I mean, they just right where it's at, 4-on-4.
No, they can keep the whole war games. To I don't want it.
Oh, you don't want that. I mean,
No,
I,
no.
yeah, because you're crossing too many different stories at once. But it's
Just to have a female war games match. Like, no,
but
bro.
they're gonna do that anyway. They're gonna do that anyway. EO got to jump off the top of that cage like she always.
I've been thinking for the past couple weeks, like, what female war games is being set up?
I guess wouldn't Rhea be on one side and
Is
then
she? And then who?
Rhea be on their side? Now who would be missing from the,
Would be on what with
with
Naya?
with Belair? No, she'd be with Belair,
Oh, Belair,
Jade,
Cargill,
yeah,
um,
EO.
I was trying to think of the other one.
Wait, Naomi,
Yeah.
Naomi, yeah, Naomi, Rhea, Io, Jade, and Belair. And then on the other side, it would be Nia, Tiffy, Liv, Raquel, and I mean,
It just don't make no fucking sense to me, bro.
I'm picking my brain right now, dog.
This shit just don't make no fucking sense to me,
I,
bro.
I, I see your brain and shit smoking right now. The more I kept saying it, I'm like, man, this shit is.
It don't make sense.
It doesn't. You're cross tying too
And
much.
then who do you put over there with them? There's nobody.
Is there
That's
any?
that's
Is
those
there
are
any?
your biggest stars.
Is there any surprise?
Bailey, you're not putting Bailey over there
Ugh,
with Liv and Nia.
no. What about Charlotte?
No matter what she got going on with Io, they're all faces now anyway, right?
What about Charlotte?
Yeah, no.
No, no Charlotte.
We're gonna bring Charlotte back and just put her in the War Games match
I mean,
with the heels.
yeah, because she's always a heel. She's always better heel.
And she's always coming for the title too.
She is. I mean, but that's her because she's always coming for the title and she always wins.
I
And
mean,
it always
I guess you could put her on that side just so she can screw the champion in the end. Either one,
yeah. I mean,
whichever one you want to have her come for, which would probably be
if
Nia.
you bring her
So
back
we
in
can
that
set
type
up
of
that's where I want to go with it. Yeah, bring she would be perfect. Bring Charlotte back,
match, okay.
have her screw Nia in the end. Let's get this feud jumped so we can jump from there to Charlotte and Tiffany because that's what everybody wants to see anyway, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. I mean,
That's your WrestleMania match, right?
yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
Tiffany defending against Charlotte because
Well,
I would have Charlotte beat Nia and Tiffany cash in.
yeah,
You
because
can beat
my
Nia
thing
and
is
Nia demolishes you after
because
you beat her.
Charlotte, her best work is building other people up. So it's
Yeah,
better when she's the champion and somebody's chasing her. Because she's gonna lose it, and the whole world goes crazy. Why does she got the belt? Why does she got the
we
belt?
gotta waste the cash in, and I think it would be entertaining watching Charlotte chase Tiffany because Tiffany's actually going to run. She's going to talk shit, but she's going to run.
It would be different.
It would be different, and we get to see something different from Charlotte. But at the same time, spotlighting your future women's star because this is Tiffany. She's not. She's backing down. She's like she's
Yeah,
going to
she's
talk her
fully
shit, but she's
scared.
going to run too. Yeah, and this is Charlotte we're talking about.
What this is Charlotte we're talking about. Yeah.
Let's let Charlotte chase down the.
And I mean, I think if you bring Charlotte back for this too, then you're keeping her a little bit safer. She don't have to do as much.
Yeah,
You know,
she don't have to do as much, and
just gets her back in there, gets her feet wet again.
yep.
Because
And
it's been a while.
it's not like she's at risk out there because Tiffany is good for how fresh she is,
Hmm.
and all
Really.
that's gonna happen is she's gonna learn more from the goat.
That's it. So yeah, yeah, that's who I'd like to see on that side. I'd like to see Charlotte on that side.
And it makes sense because we have that that little personal feud with Charlotte and Rhea. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
that can get
Charlotte,
resolved
Rhea,
with that can get resolved within there, and then yeah, I mean, I still think they can keep this whole war game because that one side is just like this is
yeah, because you're just throwing a whole bunch of people together, and
thrown together.
yeah, so then you're just gonna get a whole bunch of high spots.
That's the NWO 2000 over there.
Yeah, and so it's going to be a whole bunch of high spots, and somebody's going to get hurt.
Oh, we're gonna
That's
see some
all.
crazy shit. We're definitely gonna see some crazy shit.
Because they have to also like try to keep up with what the men got going on. So it because that's going to be such an explosion of all kinds of all hell breaking loose. They're going to have to do something special with the women, and maybe that's why they're putting all them top stars like that. Because it obviously sounds like two SmackDown teams and two Raw teams right now, right? That's what it really kind of.
Yeah, and it feels like this is where things are moving because there was a news report that the games are going to SmackDown versus Raw again.
Oh, I didn't see
So that
that.
might be a sign for things to come. We might be getting a bragging rights pay per view back. I mean, but you said it earlier with Nick Aldis and Scrap Daddy. They got
Yeah,
this little thing going on. Why wouldn't they why wouldn't they put on a little pic? All right, let's see who got the better roster then.
you're right. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So yeah,
It's tough because that SmackDown roster is thick, boy.
yeah. They definitely got to do like a superstar shakeup.
Oh, yeah. They definitely. It's about that time they do another draft real quick, or maybe do some other
Something got to
picks.
happen because
Because
the
yeah,
scales is tipped.
one's looking like a super team, and the other one's looking like our Dallas Cowboys right now. I didn't want to compare them to that, but I can only do nothing but be very honest.
Man,
But
we got
let's
we
get
got one more thing to touch on.
all right. What's that?
This this women's United States Championship.
Oh, yeah, we do have the Women's United States Championship. So, what? Um, I mean, I feel like this is going to be good, but I also feel like that my only thing I really want to say much on this because I want to try to keep it going real quick. Um, I feel like you're going to need like a Women's Intercontinental Championship to match this belt now.
You
What do
think
you?
so?
I mean, what are you going to? You have to. You're going to have one more title on another show compared to the other one.
Yeah, I feel like if they were gonna have it, they would have announced it Monday, right?
Yeah, that I mean, obviously we kind of knew they was headed that direction, especially with all the women that they have there now. But
I just want to know who you wanted on first.
a new women's intercontinental championship. I mean, I mean, United States. It's got to be somebody that's kind of like they're teetering because you don't. I, I don't know. The women are kind of hot right now, but it's I don't know, and that threw me off. I don't know. I don't just have somebody in mind that I'm like, okay, somebody needs this belt, and that'll be a good start.
I'm not thinking of somebody who needs the belt per se, but I feel like if you want to get eyes on the belt, you put it on Chelsea Green.
Man, that's a good call. Yeah, anytime you bring our name up to me, it's just like bing bong.
I feel like she could elevate the belt to where it needs to be as a new belt because it's going to be on TV. People are going to watch because it's her. They're going to watch the matches.
I
They're going
think
to
you're
watch
right.
her when she's on TV. She can wrestle. She's going to put on good matches, and whoever beats her for that belt, it's going to mean something.
It's gonna mean something.
Even though she takes L after L, but she's loved, so it's going to mean
You
something.
know what? I don't even think I compare. If I had to say somebody, I don't even think I can compare
I
to
mean,
us.
who else? I mean, there's people you can put it on.
There's people I could put it on, but I think, man, like with the entertainment value, that like to make it worth something, especially right now where she's at with the crowd and stuff like that, with them liking her but not liking her, but she has the it.
That's just what we want. They're probably going to put it on Lyra Valkyria.
Oh my goodness. Next subject. Next subject. Yeah, let's get into it because let's try to unpack this real quick. We're already rolling. NXT, man. That was, um, man. They was in Philadelphia last week. They carried that on. They tried to roll in to make it hot tonight, and um, man, they started right off with obviously Metaphor and Stephanie Valkyria and Julia
Hmm.
and Man, the last couple weeks, I felt like this is what like the NXT girls needed. Obviously, they're bringing in two more international stars that's super talented. But what I'm really noticing is, I felt like because you see these international stars are like they're obviously very very good, but
Yeah.
with them bringing Metaphor up on Raw or SmackDown and letting them get a little bit of work in front of bigger crowds and working with people that's more talented than them and people that's already been out there and they get it. People that's already getting it. I think that's making these girls better.
Yeah.
I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, like I felt like them getting a chance to work with people that was obviously better than them. That they went up there and they took advantage of it and they're learning something. They're putting more tag team work moves together. You know what I mean? They're collaborating better. So I'm like, I know, like that's what I took from that match tonight. Obviously, they worked with two girls that are super talented all over the place, but that's what I took from it. I don't know what you took from that tag match earlier. Uh,
Just a good ass match.
yeah, I felt like the matches, like period, like just starting. I felt like all the matches were like kind of decent tonight. I was like, whoa, everybody kind of showed up and wrestled tonight. I guess they got something to prove.
And these young people know they're getting more eyes on them. Like they
Uh,
got more people tuning in to watch now, so they need to turn it up. They're hungry too, so and that plays a part into
And I
it.
just think they're at a good place with the international stars too.
Good
They're
place.
bringing they're bringing the right ones in. They're making sure that they're nitpicking, but they're bringing the right ones in, and I feel like they're packaging them very well. Because
Very
I
well.
do, I like Stephanie Valkyria and I like Julia now, so like I see what they're doing. Obviously, they can't talk on microphones, and I'm not a fan of that. But you're gonna see that that's gonna turn into something really really good too.
Yeah, it's gonna turn into something good.
And then man, they carried right on. So they're building up for this Iron Survivor match.
Hmm.
And they went right into that. Uh, with Sol Ruka, obviously the first qualifying match. They had Sol Ruka, and they had Cora Jade.
I was surprised Soul got the win here.
Was you surprised?
I was a little surprised. I mean, I know they've been pushing her, but you know, Cora Jade is Cora Jade. That's like a NXT darling, you know. So
That's an NXT
I'm
darling.
not mad at it. I like Soul Ruka. I think she deserves the
I,
spot.
I'm not mad at it because obviously Sol Ruka's that's my son's favorite right now.
Favorite, I already know.
Yeah, that's his guy. But I'm just a big fan of the finisher, man. And like I said,
It's beautiful every time.
it's beautiful every time, man. So it's
Probably
gonna
my
get
favorite cutter.
it's tough to beat right now
Her and the young boy, her and the young OG got my favorite cutters right now.
because of he gets so much spring on his that makes it so good. But her doing that flip, um,
The flip
like I
is
said,
beautiful.
I'm not a fan of the whole Hawaiian gimmick, but she pulled. I mean, but it's her again.
It's
It's
her.
on.
It's her personality. So I'll
It's
take it.
complete. It's
It's
complete.
not forced. You can tell she's comfortable in her skin and she can move. And she's fresh too. Like
She's fresh.
a lot of these people have only been wrestling 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, so they're getting out there, and like I said, I mean, she might have, as the as a female, she might have the best finisher in the company. I mean, totality, Raw, SmackDown. For the females, I think she might have the best finisher in the whole entire company.
I like it.
Yeah. So she's gonna go far with that. Obviously, we seen her hit it off a ladder now.
Yeah.
She she's really making moves with she's making moves with that move. So I'm like, yo, that's very, very impressive.
I know. It's the next one.
Um, but obviously Solruka pulled the win out of that. So she's the first qualifier for females. And then man, they rolled right into it. Ava addressed all the tag teams, which this
Mhm.
is what made the rest of NXT spicy because she addressed every tag team. She basically told every tag team that they need to turn it up. And man, that's just what they did for the rest of the night. So I
Right.
think we're gonna find some good competitors for Axiom and Frazier at some point. That I mean, because there's a lot of tag teams down there, so
And
they
you
got to keep
never
some.
know it unless I'm like I'm looking at that. I'm like, wow, it really is.
There's what
Could be a tag team.
OTM, Gallus. I mean, if you really want to consider Chase U still in there,
Yeah,
but they wasn't in the mix of that. They had their own thing going on.
it's because
Uh,
Andre Chase got but I like it. I keep doing that over there.
yeah, so I mean, so Ava's given a chance, but I mean, you can see people are hungry too. So that their best thing to do is probably let all the tag teams go at it, and I th- yeah, we're obviously I think we're going to see a tag team title change here again here soon. Even though we know,
Hopefully,
yeah, I'm over the Axiom and Fraser thing. I mean, I don't know how long they can do that. So that's not my thing. Um, but you still with me, dog? I think you might have froze. Um, either way, I'll still continue on to keep it rolling. Um, then we had another Iron Survivor match. All right, you back with me, dog? I
yeah, I
think
don't
we
know what
lost.
happened.
I think we lost each other for a quick second, but I wasn't worried. I was just gonna keep rolling. But right after that, after she addressed all the tag teams, we had another Iron Survivor match, which was another good match. Obviously, we knew what it was going to be. We got Wesley versus Cedric Alexander, and obviously, we kind of knew who was going to win that match from the rip. It's a qualifying match, but man, you just see so much talent from.
So much talent, like
Uh, and even with Wesley being as small as he is, I do like he's starting to become a strong heel.
I
He's
like him
playing it
too.
really well. I like
I
him
was
as
kind of iffy at first, but
uh,
he's doing his thing.
yeah, and again, it seems a little bit organic too. So he's doing his thing. I thought that match was actually really good. I think they got a oh
Cedric rarely disappoints, and I haven't seen anything I haven't liked the Wesleys.
and that's well I mean yeah, Cedric's not gonna disappoint. It just sucks. He's just stuck in the middle. But again, he's doing his job, man. He's probably just down there teaching these kids how to do things the right way. He knows he doesn't get over the best, but he's perfect for his situation. I'll
Yeah,
help get these people over. I'm teaching. I'm getting paid really well because again, that was a really good match.
great
I was,
match.
and I like how they ended it with like the turnbuckle. Wesley getting over by using the turnbuckle. Obviously, they ripped the turnbuckle off. Cedric took it to the face. Then he finished him. But man, you're seeing so much talent. I love that they're pushing these smaller guys too. That's my thing. Like, if these bigger guys that you really want to be your champions aren't doing it, push these little guys, man. Let them go out there and tear the house down because they're wrestling and people are into it. So,
Hmm.
um, then right after that, man, this is what I was a little confused on, but I liked it. We had the D'Angelo family with the Sean Spears promo, and it kind of sounded like he showed up for a title shot for himself.
This is at one. This is one of the first spots where I was cutting out at.
Uh-huh. Well, he showed up. He was good, solid promo between those two, but he wasn't really there for a match for himself. He came for Brooks,
Uh-huh.
and um this is where I got thrown off at after he made the challenge basically. Um they got in a car with somebody and I guess they said the guy's name was Nika. Now I'm not sure who Nika was, but they made sure that they panned to this guy. And it threw me off because obviously I feel like it's a big part of the story. And I'm like, hmm. why do I not know who this guy is? And I was trying to figure it out, and I probably should have did my research before we went on air.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, it didn't ring a bell, but I feel like it's an important spot for this D'Angelo thing. But I think Sean Spears is on his way to find, or you know what I mean. He's finally on his way to. He's always telling good stories out there. You know, he just never gets over.
Right.
So I think this. I thought this promo like tonight was like. I was like, okay, this is interesting. I can't wait to see where this is going, because obviously they got in a car with somebody, and I felt like that was super important too. And I'm like, that sucks that I kind of don't know who that is right now. But
You already know that the smallest details are usually the most important ones.
I'm sure we'll get right back to it. And then man, it was just like NXT was flowing tonight. Uh, Trick called out Ridge Holland because
Hmm.
obviously he's tired of the Ridge Holland. And
My
but
man
ac-
Andre had to put a stop to it.
but Andre Chase came out, man, and he yeah, he and Trick kind of gave him his flowers. I like that.
You have to.
Trick told him like, man, like you deserve a shot, man. So I'll give it to you. And obviously Ridge Holland didn't like that, which leads us to next week, which obviously we're gonna get Ridge Holland versus Andre Chase, your guy. But both those guys you like a lot. But
Ooh, yeah.
but now he's saying if Andre Chase loses, he's giving up the whole Chase University. And so they add a little bit of spice to it now.
That means we need to see a very aggressive Andre Chase.
We need, and the quick prediction. You think he loses? Because Ridge Holland is hot right now.
He's hot. I don't see a reason for Rich to lose.
But what does Andre Chase do without Chase University?
That's the thing, bro. Like you gotta change has to come.
Chase,
This is let look. Obviously, people are. I'm starting to like him a little bit. I like Chase U. I think it's a fine, fun gimmick. But with
but
this
it's
Rich
run its
Holland
course,
stuff recently, I've been starting to like Andre Chase
and it's
a
starting to
little bit
run its
more.
course.
I think if he could step away from Chase U and find a solid character outside of that, he can go far
Okay, all right, yeah.
because the
I mean,
wrestling's there.
yeah, because I don't really. I was gonna say my prediction is too. I don't think Ridge Holland loses. I'm just like, where does Andre Chase go from there if he doesn't have Chase University? So that I think that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out tomorrow night, or excuse me, next week. And then again we got another females match. We got Nikita Lyons, and then we Ariana Rizzo. Um, I see what they're doing with Lyons now. Obviously, they're still building her.
I mean, she's another one because she's always out with an injury.
She's
They're
always hurt.
always building her. They obviously have been having
But
plans for
have you
her.
noticed they changed? Like I was saying earlier, they changed her move setup. So
Yeah.
she's not doing. She doesn't do the split leg for the finisher anymore. She kind of
Yep.
does like a Vader bomb.
Yep.
Well, she probably should because she's gaining weight,
She
man.
has to wrestle like a big man. Even before, like you're
Yeah, but
you're
now she's
taller.
but now she's gaining weight. I'm like, ugh.
I ain't mad at it.
I'm I'm, I'm not gonna say I'm mad at her. I'm a meat lovers myself,
I'm mad at it.
but yeah, she's
I like
gaining weight.
frosted flakes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. I yeah, like a little
Oh
toppings on
wait,
my
that's a
burger.
tiger. My bad.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, man. If I choose a hot dog, I like ketchup, mustard, onion, pickle. I like everything on it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I can't complain about it. But obviously, Nikita Lyons got to win. They're building her again
of course. Yeah.
since she just returned. She's always been strong. Um, then right after that, we another new character we got. What's her name? Zahara. Um,
Zarya.
Zarya. Man, now that promo was solid.
Yeah.
Um,
That's one of those international stars that's good,
she can
can
talk.
speak English, can talk.
Mm,
I'm sure they got massive plans for her because she's great.
Yeah, I
I
thought
that's
that.
when I had to, I had to go do some watch
Yeah,
some
because you
matches
seen
and
her pop out live, right? You were there, and we
she
were like,
right behind us. I'm like, hold up.
and I'm like, bro, who is that? You're like, I don't know.
No
I'm like,
idea.
no name popped across the screen. No, there's just no hint. I'm like, so I'm just supposed to know who she is, right? Um, but yeah, I felt like that promo was. I mean, that been obviously the vignettes, video promos, they all
Fire.
been really good. But I felt you can see that she can talk.
She
We've
might win
already.
it all.
She might be your winner. That's what I was thinking too. We'll see who else gets involved in this match, but I think she's probably gonna end
I
up
mean,
winning.
we're probably gonna end with the international stars, but she's gonna win it all.
Mm, you're right. You're probably right. It's all gonna end up international.
Yeah.
Hmm. I like it. Um, right after that, we got your boy Bouncy, Javon Evans versus Lexus King. Um,
That's my boy too.
that's my boy too, but they're failing me right now.
I get it.
I don't like this whole like I'm sorry. Uh, I'm playing this. I just didn't see him going this direction right
Yeah.
now. Obviously he's still putting out good matches because that match was really good tonight. Again, it was another good one. Um, they were hitting all kinds of stuff so fast paced, so clean.
He's
Um,
marinating real well down there, but I'm glad he
yeah,
made this move and he's taking his time down there. He's learning the right things and he's gonna be a star.
yeah, he is gonna be a star, man. I just don't like this whole. I'm sorry. Listen, if I drop kick you, bro, I'm not gonna tell you I'm sorry for it.
At all.
I gave you this drop kick with intent. So
Because they're trying to and it's intentional, trying to push him further away from loose cannon. Well, this is him doing it
mm,
in character. I'm not a loose cannon. I don't want to be
mm,
my father. So I'm gonna apologize to you when I do some crazy shit to you.
mm.
And like, come on, bro.
Yeah, man.
Embrace the loose cannon. Like, fuck.
I need please embrace the loose cannon.
The
Pull
loose
pull
cannon Lexus King, it just rolls off the
it
tongue
rolls
so
with it. It rolls with it. Pull a gun on somebody on TV. Like if you really want to make a statement, don't shoot anybody. I'm not condoning violence. Pull a gun.
pull a gun, man.
We're- that still is a very, very classic little
I
video.
think it's a build up for him to actually like snap.
Two snap. You could be right.
I think they're gonna eventually lean into the loose cannon, but
Because
they you want to play it like
if
I
you
don't.
keep losing, eventually you're gonna snap.
Yeah,
And then uh carrying on because we're almost getting to the end here. We want to get ready to wrap it up here shortly in by less than 5 minutes or so. We had an Axiom and Frazier interaction. Obviously Frazier's throwing himself into the he's throwing himself into the Iron Challenge, and it didn't seem like Frazier was too happy about that, which actually really isn't smart. You're throwing yourself in the mix of this, and
you're a champion.
you're a champion, and every tag team right now they want a taste of that belt. The minute Ava said, "Y'all need to get hungry," people got hungry and got savages.
So now
So,
your focus ain't over here on this gold that we're holding. You
so
want to go and focus on singles championships.
and and just like that, like I said, I mean, it started in going right into it. The main event, we had the North American Championship of the new champion. What is her name? Fallon Henley
Fallon
and
Henley.
Kalani. And man, I tell you what, yeah, it took me a little bit of a minute, man, but Kalani is very, very talented. Um,
Very talented. Yeah, I understand. I take it all back. I
I
understand why they put
I
the
think they
strap on
just
her.
did it at an odd time, and we were just kind of like,
It's
whoa.
we were because we're so big on other people. It's like we feel like other people are just like a little bit more hotter right
and
now.
deserved it and
Yeah, right.
deserved it.
We're
But
not there though. We're not actually there.
yeah, that's the hard part. We're not
So
actually there. So they came in, they gave it to the young girl, and she's been hot ever since. She's hitting all kind of moves. Um,
future is so bright.
yeah, her future's super bright. Um, she did have like one miscue or something there, but she covered it up right. Yeah, because I didn't expect her to do the moonsault right off the.
Listen, the miscues from these NILs who've been wrestling for a couple years, I'll
I'm letting
take
it
it.
go.
I'll take it.
Yeah, because I thought Cedric. Speaking of, I thought Cedric was going to kill himself tonight. He went over the top rope, jammed his knee a little bit, but he got right back to it. So it was a quick, scary moment. You can obviously see the ref was like, "Whoa!" But again, it was a good, quick. It was only like 8 minutes, but they went in there and it was bing boom. And I'm starting to like Fallon Henry. I'm starting to like our Henley.
Fallon's always, I've always liked her. You could,
And I'm
they
like
always
Booker,
want to
and
do
I'm
with
like
something.
Booker T. Man, those three girls are pretty damn sexy. I'm surprised he ain't getting in trouble the way he's talking out there, man.
No, bro. You see, Booker T is he's
He
picking up a little bit of the
he knows
King
what.
vibes from back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, because he's a heel. He's definitely calling people snitches and everything else. But man, it ended off obviously. The numbers game played a factor, and uh, Fallon continued to carry on with the belt. But right in the middle of that is when all haywire broke loose between all the tag teams. It started in the middle of their match in the locker room,
Yep.
and it ended up carrying out to the credits rolled.
It's like,
Uh,
yeah, it's like an old school brawl to end the show.
but you can never go wrong with the old school. I remember my boy ISP had told me, man, he used to always like to end the show with some, every once in a while, just end the show with complete chaos and turmoil because it just keeps everybody thirsty for more. And while nobody's doing nothing fancy, everyone's just throwing punches and everyone, but it's just like, yeah, these guys want a title shot. And I felt like
Yeah.
that was good. I thought it really capped off really well. But man, we got so much more to time starts flowing, dog. We already ended up rolling and rolling probably a lot longer than we wanted to roll, but this is how we get. Um, man, it was a great night talking all kinds of wrestling. Like I said, so man, we might have to convince them. We might have to try to figure out how we can get on here 2 times a week, man, so we don't have to end up running over.
Yeah, because it's always a lot to talk about, especially when it's so
Yeah,
much
we
going on. They're
there's
keeping
so
us on
much
our
going
toes,
on.
man.
Yeah, it's so much going on, and it's all so good right now. It's keeping me so thirsty for so much more. But we don't want to keep up the people up too late and all that, man. But hey, it was a great show. It was great talking to you for a good hour and a half here.
It's
Um,
always great talking wrestling with my man, bro. What you
yeah,
got for
that's
them?
what we do. I want to take the time. Thanks for everybody pushing the channel for us. Thanks for everybody tuning in, the viewers. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. You know where to find them. You can find them at Trip on Trip 3 time underscore 3 times. Oh, what's that on? Is that your Instagram?
That's Instagram, yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can catch me at my friends call me BL. That's my Instagram. That's usually where you can catch us the most. Obviously, you can catch us on Facebook. Um, again,
Kirk
thanks
McGurk.
to Kirk McGurk. Thanks to Autobox Sports. Thanks to Danny for dealing with us like he usually does, like he's been doing the last couple of weeks. We appreciate him and the time he's taken out to keep the marks marking. Uh, all the man, like again, we run through this. There's so many different channels. I think right before we went on the air, they were talking about the Washington Commanders. That I think there's a Commanders, and the Washington Commanders are real hot right now. Our man Danny, he has his own show where he's talking about the New York Giants. I want to say it's the Big Blue. There's so much different shit to check out on this channel. Please, somebody. I mean, there's something for everybody. I seen the Raiders. I seen the New York Mets. there is something to talk about on this channel, and there's something for everybody to tune into. I don't know why everybody doesn't subscribe to this channel, because this is where it's at right now, for real.
This is where we're at.
And
Come
this is
on.
where we're at. This is where we're at. This is where it's at. And man, it was a great night talking to you, my guy.
Always a
Appreciate it.
pleasure, bro.
It was a good time. We're going to be right back here next week, 10:30, same time. We're gonna have a lot more to unpack. There's gonna be a lot to go with.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna get so much more. Yeah,
And again, thanks to our producer for the last couple weeks, Danny. We appreciate you, and everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week to do the same thing. We gonna mark about it.
peace.
Peace.